Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Cool Chief episode. And I'm very excited because this episode is specifically designated for our private group, the Women Helping Women Entrepreneur Group, because I've got a business strategist with us today. Her name is Regina, and she's joining us today from California. And she's going to be talking to us entrepreneurs about how we can use our email list in a much more efficient, better way to generate sales. And we're all in this group because we're women who own businesses, whether it's a product business or a service business, and we all need help generating revenue. So I'm very excited. But before we get into that topic, and I'll have Regina introduce herself, in case you haven't seen one of these episodes before, I'm Jack Perez, and I'm the CEO and founder of Kuel. Kuel is an online platform and a curated shopping experience for women in our second act. So I'm an entrepreneur too, and I am very curious about what Regina has to say today. And Kuel is spelled with a K. It's Kuellife. Regina, would you do me the honor and introduce yourself and tell us, a little bit about you and how you became a business strategist and all that good stuff before we dive into the meat of it?
Absolutely. So I've been a life and business strategist for the past 17 years, and my focus has been primarily helping failing companies get back on their feet. So I've helped over 100 companies. I've walked well over 50 companies through Chapter 11. I am not a corporate, I'm not a Chapter 11 attorney, so obviously there was always one, but I'm very familiar with walking them through the process, which is very difficult and hard on a CEO. And I've walked them back through restructuring and putting the pieces back together of their life and of their companies. Okay. And recently, because I've seen so much heartache and pain that comes with failing companies and the people and the families and marriages that it can affect, I've recently shifted my focus to helping business owners, CEOs, and entrepreneurs as well in scaling their business correctly to avoid making the same mistakes that I've seen so many people make over the years. So help them scale correctly for long-term success and profitability.
Well, that just sounds like a perfect fit for this particular group, and I can't wait to hear. You said we were going to talk about building our email list. You mentioned to me that is still the most valuable asset. Is that what you said? The most valuable asset that a business owner has? Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what we should do to be building that email list?
Absolutely. I believe as the CEO, as the head of the company, entrepreneur, CEO, whatever title you assume, you are, of course, the number one asset because you're driving the whole system. The second biggest asset is your customer base. Yes, of course, your employees matter. Of course, the infrastructure matters. All of these things matter. But if you don't have, I've got a dog in my lap, I'm sorry. But if you don't have a customer base that is trading money for service or product, you really don't have a business. Your customer base becomes number one asset at this point. Now, a lot of businesses currently done over the internet. We're in the digital age and completely submerged in it. So your business list, now think about this. If you have a correctly assembled email list, it's not about having a massive email list. It's about having your correct target customer on your list. So if you have a properly composed email list with your target customer, for every single dollar that you invest in building your list, you can make an average return of $44 back. So just think about it. You put $1 into your email list, you get $44 back. So it takes, go ahead.
Sounds like a great equation to me. So, well, I would love some hints and some tips for how to do that, because I know personally, I'm always looking for a way to get to my target audience in a way to add value, right? Because we're all in business to add value to our customer, to our target market. So what are some of the things, Regina, that we should be doing differently towards that endeavor?
So number one, you have to focus on the fact and embrace the fact that you need an email list. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, what product or service. For the most part, maybe with an exception of select few, you may not even need an email list, but for the most part, you do want to have that biggest asset. So the power of so you want to create lead magnets. So what is a lead magnet? Just a very quick summary of that is somebody trades their email address, their phone number, their contact for the information you provide. So the main key points of a lead magnet for somebody, you got to think about it this way. What is going to make you personally say, I'm going to give them my email address, my phone number, a way to contact me in exchange for this information? So what would make you say that? So some of the key points that make a lead magnet valuable is it has to be able to solve a problem for your customer. So your lead magnets have to be consistent with your industry and your customer. So if I'm a business strategist, my lead magnets are very strategically created and designed even visually for my target customer. So if anybody opens my personal lead magnets, it's very clear that I'm a business strategist. It's conservative, it's very concise, it talks to my audience, even visually before they even get to the information. So
well, it's
it
funny
has to
because
promise them some sort
as a business strategist, your lead magnet is telling people about lead magnets.
Yes, that's correct. Because that's a fantastic point, right? Because it's part of the strategy to generate income for them and to ensure long-term success. Because the asset is their email list, so it has to promise them some sort of a quick win. So if they apply this information that you're trading for their email address or the phone number, whatever it may be for you, if they apply it, they should have some sort of an immediate win, at least a little bit of an adjustment towards a positive to increasing their productivity or cash flow, whatever your customer needs. It should give them some sort of a quick win. Another tip for a very good lead magnet is it has to give them high value. It has to be able for them.
What does that mean, high value?
Okay, so for example, one of the lead magnets I have is specifically to a CEO that's $5 to $12 million company. It's a free download, but it's 13 pages worth of packed information of precisely what they need in their company to actually increase profitability and build a solid foundation. I don't charge for these things. So when they open it, they're saying this value is massive. So the point of that also is not only that it provides them high value, but it immediately positions me as the expert, because the moment they read the lead magnet, they understand that they're communicating with an absolute expert in the field because the information will dictate it.
So I'm hearing that it has to be designed with your customer in mind. So if you're going after a conservative customer, it has to look conservative. I'm also hearing, though, that it has to be purposeful and have actionable. They can be the people can take action with it, so they can actually learn something or fix a problem, and that in and of itself then positions, like you said, it positions that the provider as an expert in that field, which is what you want, right?
Absolutely. And it also, those are great points. Thank you for summarizing that. You're absolutely correct. And it also builds your credibility. So next time you put out a lead magnet, because you should always change them. I don't know if it's once a month for you or every quarter, whatever works for your customer, however often they need information. But next time you put a lead magnet, they're going to want to download it as well. Although it's already an existing email address, but this continues to establish your credibility, your visibility, and position you as the expert. Because the first time they download a lead magnet, if it doesn't provide high value, why would they do it again? So next time you put out the offer, why would they want to engage? So everything has to provide massive value, and it builds your brand. Consistent.
And if it adds a lot of value, they might share it with their constituents. They might share it with the other people in their company, or so there's a lot of value in that too, right? Because they could help spread the word about you and about your expertise.
Absolutely. I checked my email list. I don't check it daily, but in the last week it grew I think by 15 or 17 people organically, and I had no idea. Somebody downloaded my initial ebook, and I guess it spread. They shared it with somebody, and I was blown away because I've never had such a massive expansion this quickly. But you're absolutely correct. You never know who's watching. You never know who's sharing your information. That's the beauty of providing value like that.
Okay, great. So that and that can be in the form of an ebook, or that can be in the form of just some sort of downloadable PDF. But it has to have substance. So it can't be a paragraph, it can't be two, and it has to provide some sort of unique value proposition that they can't just stumble across somewhere else.
Absolutely, yes. So the main 2 points are to provide value and to establish yourself in the eyes of this individual. So they're also no longer a cold lead. So when you put out the offer, they're saying, hey, I know this person. They provide value, they function with integrity. I want to work with them. I want to buy from them. And just a few examples of useful lead magnets, and I've used some of them myself. So ebook is a fantastic one. One point about an ebook, I'm sure you guys have all heard of Fiverr. I'm not a vendor of Fiverr, so I'm not advertising it by any means, but do invest $5, $10, $15 to make your book absolutely beautiful. Visual presentation does matter, and it establishes also your credibility, visibility. So I know for my ebooks, for me, technology might as well be rocket science. So I'm not going to waste my days, months, and years making it nice and pretty. Right. I do go to Fiverr. It costs me, I don't know, $15, $20 to make it exceptionally beautiful, a PDF, a Word document, a cover page and everything. And it takes 72 hours max, I think, or 4 days max to get it done.
Well, I think Fiverr should be giving you a kickback, because I know that I'm going to go use them as soon as I get off this chat with you. It's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because presentation matters. Think about this. When you walk into any place, or when you interact with somebody, the first immediate, what do you connect with first? It's the visual aspect.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the visual aspect.
What other, I know, ladies, and if you're watching this on the rebroadcast, I promise, Regina and I already talked about maybe doing a couple of these, or having, them either monthly or every other month or quarterly. So if you have topics that you want to address in your business, please share them in the comments. Regina and I will get back to them, and we're happy to come back and talk about other topics, because you know what? Honestly, my new saying is collaboration is the new competition, and we women have to stick together. And we are far more powerful together than we are separate. So I'm in it to win-win. And I know, Regina, we've talked about it. You're in it to win-win as well. So is there something else you can share with us quickly about generating a good lead magnet?
Sure, absolutely. Just a few more. We will have a downloadable PDF, nice and beautiful, just like we just talked about, ladies. And we're going to do a link. And by downloading it, you will be essentially, because I want to be upfront and transparent, by downloading this, the PDF, you will be subscribing to both of the email lists, so we can continue bringing you valued information. Of course, you can unsubscribe at any time you'd like. But just a few more points. I have about 15 different ways or 20 different ways that you can generate lead magnets. I'm only going to go through a couple just because in respect to the time that we have.
Well, we can come back and do a subsequent chit chat too. So
perfect. So we talked about the ebook. Survey is a fantastic way for a lead magnet, and also survey is a great way to build out a funnel. So very quick example, 30-second elevator pitch, so to speak. Somebody can do a survey before they even give you an email address. When they get back to the survey, you can offer them to schedule a strategy call with you, or a survey results review call. That also gets the customer on the phone for you. You can also maybe charge a small fee to get on the phone with you. That compensates the cost of creating the lead magnet, or if you're doing a paid ad, you can maybe charge $5, $10, $15 to get on a call and get the results. Once you get the results, keep in mind the survey points out somebody's main pain points. You can provide value, solve them, and hopefully sign on a client for yourself. So survey is a fantastic way. If you properly structure them, you can funnel them straight into your course, into your program, into your mastermind, whatever you have going on. So survey is a great way to go about it. Giveaways.
Let me interrupt for just a second, because survey is great if you've got a service business. What about a lead magnet for a products company? Do you have a suggestion for that?
Yes, I do. Going back to the survey really quickly, a lot of customers do not know that they're not happy with their current vendor, because even if it's a product, because they don't know that there's better options out there. So
Okay.
you can base a survey. Are you happy with your supplier? Are your margins where they're supposed to be? Are you getting the relationship you need out of your supplier? Are they always available for you? So there's questions you can structure around the survey that's for a product, because a lot of customers, I've noticed, don't know that there's better out there.
Okay, perfect. I mean, that's a great way, because I know that some of the women in this group are coaches and analysts and service providers, but there are a lot of women out here who also sell products. And so I want to make sure that we give some little nuggets for, I sell a product. So I I definitely was personally interested in that aspect. So I think we have time for one more before we need to wrap up today's session. But once again, ladies, don't stress out, because you can download the PDF, which will be chock full of these these that she's talking about now, with more explanation and additional ones. But maybe we can sneak in one more before we have to go.
Well, what I'd like to do, if you don't mind, with one more, yes, the PDF will have the importance of the email list, the ways to do a lead magnet and why, and effective email marketing campaign. So keep in mind that the money is in the follow-up. So once you've generated email list, what do you actually do with this? Now, I hear a lot of people complaining, nobody responds to my emails, I stopped emailing. Keep in mind that 80% of the sales, ladies, think about this, 80% of the sales happen between the 5th and the 12th email to your customer.
Wow.
And most,
yeah. What percentage?
80%, this is mind-blowing. I'm telling you, 80% of the sales happen between the 5th and the 12th follow-up email, and 10%, and most people stop after the 3rd email. So as you're listening to this, ask yourself, how many follow-up emails do I do with my prospect? It is very important. There is a reason a lot of us that I'm watching women say, I can't get leads, I can't get customers. Where do you stop the following up? The money is in the follow-up. And also in the PDF, I will give you list out effective ways of email marketing campaigns. I know we're out of time, but it's all going to be in the PDF for you ladies. So we've put a lot of time, effort, and energy into making sure that we provide massive value to you with this PDF as well. But sales happen in the follow-up, and most people stop. 8 out of 10 people do not go past, I think, the 3rd or 4th email.
So I have to tell you, I think that's probably the most valuable piece of information I've heard in a long time. And I think what that means, ladies, is that we just need to stay the course and be persistent and be tenacious and, with integrity, of course. But, that's really that gives me personally some hope, because sometimes you can get really disappointed and disillusioned because you're thinking, well, what am I not doing right? But yes, if you have value, if you believe in what you're doing, if it creates value for your customer, you just have to keep telling them, I guess, over and over again. All right. So ladies, the link will be posted below for the PDF. As Regina said, when you download it, I will subscribe you to, I just send out an email once a week with basically a Cool Life Roundup that tells you what the content was on the website. All the content is relevant to women. And Regina will put you on her email distribution list, but you'll get, and hopefully you'll stay with us, because I think there's a lot of value in both what Regina and I are doing. Regina, thank you so much for your time. And ladies, again, if you have another topic or something else that you're worried about with your business, write the comments in the comment section. I promise you, Regina and I will come back and we'll do another episode and we'll answer some of those. Is that good?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
All right. Bye-bye. Till next time, Regina.
Bye.